Filmic, cinematic, words echoing from every corner of YouTube, words that point to an obsession. Because if you're anything like me, you are obsessed. Obsessed with trying to capture some of the magic that got you obsessed with film in the first place. We all grew up watching those flickering images on cinema screens, of titanic dreams and terrifying nightmares captured on celluloid. But for a long time, recreating that ourselves seemed out of reach. Buying and processing film stock is just too expensive for the likes of me. I think I also grew up at a time where digital was really losing the fight. Every year it got better, but the subconscious association I have of digital video is still the gross, pixelated mess that ruined colours and contrast and just made everything feel amateurish. For a long time, the distance between the images you'd see in the cinema and what you could capture yourself was vast. But digital cameras have improved greatly, now proudly wearing the label digital cinema cameras, and shooting the biggest films out there. Unfortunately, our ability to replicate film in the digital age is finally at an accessible level with post-production tools like Dehancer. Dehancer is a film emulation plugin you can use in any NLE. I've been testing it out in Premiere Pro, trying to decide whether it's worth it. Big disclaimer here, Dehancer have given me a copy of the plugin for free in order to review it. They've also given me a personalised discount code that means if you use JR Dawson at checkout, you get 10% off your purchase and I get a little kickback. So if you feel so inclined, I'd appreciate you using my code. I'll still of course be giving my honest opinions, including a comparison with Film Convert Nitrate, which I have been using regularly for a long time now. Dehancer have recently released their version 2.0 update, and in this video I'll be checking out a few of those new features. However, this won't be a technical deep dive. If you want one of those, there's already plenty out there. I'd personally recommend Rob Ellis's video, which I'll link below. Instead, this is more of a practical review. I'm aiming to answer the question, is Dehancer worth it? My main feeling about Dehancer is that it is an incredibly in-depth tool. If you are someone who loves the ability to customize every single aspect of your image, then Dehancer might be the right tool for you. Dehancer goes way beyond your standard LUT and grain overlay treatment. Instead, it gives you full control over your image. Starting with camera selection, Dehancer converts your image from log or standard Rec 709 to a full film print. If you can, I would highly recommend choosing your camera and letting Dehancer convert the image from log. I think the results this way feel a lot smoother and more organic to me. Dehancer gives you a vast library of different film stocks to pick from that will allow you to get some really unique and varied looks. But that's just the start. Dehancer gives you control of emulating how film would be printed, letting you adjust the colour, contrast and exposure as if you were chemically processing film. Beyond that, its algorithmic grain gives you a really organic feeling image that you have a vast amount of control over, letting you decide just how much grain is right for you. The halation and bloom controls are also really interesting, giving you a unique ability to control typically filmic aspects of your image in post. I know a lot of people have spent a lot of time finding a way to create each of these aspects of film emulation, and it's great to have it all in one place. The new update also gives you some great new features. The one I've been finding most useful is the false colour. This allows you to quickly judge exposure in a way that I'm very used to doing in camera. It also really helps for ensuring all your shots match whilst you're grading. The other new feature I'm really interested in is the film damage tool, which allows you to emulate some of the real texture that you'd get from physically moving film through the sprockets of a camera or projector. Lots of tiny scratches and imperfections across the celluloid. This is just another great step towards making a really organic filmic image. It's not one I'd use on every project. I think I largely prefer the feel of modern film that has less imperfections, but for some this would be perfect. For this introspective sequence in our upcoming documentary, where the subject discusses his past life, our aim was to replicate the feeling of 16mm film. And the film damage tool here really adds that final organic touch. I think the main difference that I found is that Dehancer gives you a lot more control, and overall you can create a lot more unique looks. Both because you have so many different settings to tweak, and also because there are so many more stocks available. In Nitrate's favour, however, I would say if you were looking for a lighter workflow, consider Nitrate, as you can really just throw it on and get a great look straight away. That's not to say you can't do that with Dehancer as well, but I think Dehancer rewards experimentation and really diving deep into the settings. Also, film Nitrate is currently cheaper. One other thing is that in my opinion, I get the best results out of Nitrate by converting my log image using a conversion LUT or colour transform, then applying Nitrate on top, as opposed to Dehancer where the most organic results come from letting it do the converting. One other small advantage Nitrate has is the ability to control grain with more fine detail in Premiere Pro. I believe Dehancer offers this in its DaVinci Resolve version, but it would be great if in the future we saw more ability to fine-tune grain in the Premiere version as well. But there is just something in the nuances of how Dehancer reproduces film that is sheer magic, and overall I prefer the images it makes, even if there's not a lot in it. I think both are great products and you won't go wrong with either, but personally, I'll be looking to Dehancer first for my future projects. One big bonus I'll mention for both is that you can buy a lifetime version. In a world where I feel like I'm being bled dry by monthly subscriptions, this is refreshing. If you feel like a subscription is better suited to you though, there is that option with Dehancer as well. So, is it worth it? Well, for me, I think it is. I really like the level of control you have to make unique images that can suit a wide variety of different projects. And for my money, the images you can make with Dehancer are really beautiful and really varied. The algorithmic approach to the grain and other aspects and printing from log allows you to make images that feel really organic. I'm always striving to take a little of the digital sharpness off my camera's sensor. I often shoot on vintage glass for this very reason, and Dehancer just feels like it's going to be another great tool to make the sort of image that I want to create. So if you're like me and want to create organic, filmic images, Dehancer might be worth your consideration. Go check out their website. There's a 2-week free trial that you can get right now. And check out all the other YouTubers who've been using it as well. There's a lot of content out there, a lot of people discussing it in far more depth than I have. Thanks for watching.